Now, I asked the question, what's in your heart? And a lot of good answers, a lot of different answers, diverse. But I'm going to sum it up. I'm going to distill it. Here's an example of distilling. Got a lot of stuff. We've heard a lot of words. Let's bring that into succinctness or distill all the essence from all of these. We have peace and grace. We have listening to others. We have serving people, inspiring and kind, being a radiator or radiating joy, all good things. But I'm going to distill it into a very simple one word: compassion. Every one of you has tremendous compassion for humans for a lot of different reasons. Some of you because you've been here from the start. You helped kind of spawn this whole thing. Some of you because you've had so many lifetimes. You understand the joys, the beauties, the downfalls, and the sadness, the dramas of the human life, but you still love it. I mean, human life is just amazing when you rise above it. When you're stuck in it, it's not so amazing, but you rise above it, it's beautiful. You've all been in service for many lifetimes to others, whether it was through things like hospitals or medical care, whether it was in the past as priests or nuns who listened, who are really good at listening to others. Actually, they always fall asleep, but nobody really knows how, but they develop this skill of listening. Whether it was just having had tremendous loves in your life, love for children and partners and others. You, Shambra, all of you, have tremendous compassion. That's what's in your heart. That's no matter how you say it, but almost every one of you that would have gotten the microphone was going to say almost that. It's compassion. It's appreciation, acknowledgement of others, serving them, being with them, caring for them. None of you want to hurt anybody else. As a matter of fact, perhaps you go the other way. You're all still trying to save everybody, and you're slowly learning it simply can't be done or shouldn't be done. But there is in your heart a compassion. The human side of you has a compassion that cannot be found anywhere in all of creation, anywhere. And I know sometimes you think, well, there's got to be beings out there who are just all full of rainbows and love and everything. Not really. Not really, because none of them have had the journey or the heart of the human like you do. Your compassion ranks far above what you would call the human norm. And I'm not trying to flatter anybody here, but you have such a love for humanity and a compassion for them that sometimes, well, actually most of the time, you deny yourself of that same service, of that same joy, of that same peacefulness, or whatever it is. You deny yourself to a fault, And I say to a fault because what you're really doing right now, by holding back, by denying yourself of that same compassion, is you aren't going to what the very first comment was, being a standard. And just imagine for a moment being a true embodied master, a standard. Now bring in the heart of the human and imagine for a moment what that can do for this planet or for New Earth. That compassion given to yourself and then radiated out to others, shared with them, oftentimes without any words or without any physical service, but simply shared with them. Imagine what that would do for humanity right there. Not toiling away day by day, trying to listen to their problems or attend their physical needs, but by being that standard. It is compassion that's in your heart. Now, stay with me here, or go back later and listen to it. But what is compassion? What is compassion? We talked about it particularly in some of our gatherings where we go in depth, like Kihak or Threshold. Compassion is from the soul, from the I am. The compassion, the joy of being, not of accomplishing anything, not of getting from point A to B, but simply the joy of being. That is the thrill of the soul, of the I am. It doesn't have to climb mountains. It doesn't have to perform big tasks or huge accomplishments. The compassion, if you feel into it for a moment, of the soul is simply being. I exist. I am that I am. That is such compassion and a thrill and a joy and all these other things. I am that I am. That's the compassion or the passion of the soul. Stay with me here now. That passion, compassion of the soul is the very thing that creates or brought forth energy. Energy is condensed compassion. What is in your heart is compassion, love, compassion, whatever you want to call it, admiration for others. That is energy. You are an attractor. You attract energy. But when the heart is covered over by doubt, by fear, by remorse, when the heart simply isn't able to shine forth because of guilt and shame, which are huge issues, have been for all of you. When that heart is covered up, that energy, that attractant isn't working very well. There's a big filter on it. When you open up, when you allow that same compassion for yourself as you do for others, that same love for humanity, now you give to yourself, suddenly everything changes. Everything changes. It's a very important point. I guess you could call it a type of physics, but the compassion that you have, when I talk about the heart of the human, that compassion is the thing that brings in energy and creates your reality. So we take a bold step here and saying, now we're going to open the heart up. We're going to bring that same compassion that's deep-seated within each and every one of you. We're going to bring it into your reality, the human reality. And now we're going to watch how the energies and the way reality is shaped and formed to truly change effortlessly. No climbing mountains unless you want to climb mountains. I'm not picking on climbing mountains. I just don't understand when there's so many other ways to experience the sensuality of life. But that's just me. So now let's take a deep breath of that. Remember, you are an energy attractant. You bring it in, you constantly, this flow of energy. You are a compassionate being. That's in your heart. Much more so than most other humans. Really is. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. Now, feel into the dynamics now as you open that heart. If nothing else, just sharing it with the master who brings the wisdom. Opening that heart to the master. How energy dynamics start to change. It's a no-brainer because you don't have to think about it. There's no effort in it.